Hello everyone, this is fools2023. It's the day after April Fool's. I'm making this video to, kind of want to go over the pranks that we've had over the years. It's almost reaching our 10 years, so it's a good time to reminisce. And also go over what happened. Because like I said, I'm proud of this one. So we'll start by going back in time. We'll go forward. We'll probably start doing a whole year thing of memories because we are reaching that point. And I kind of want to. I won't gloss over everything if I can skip it, because there are parts I've already talked about and all that, but we'll go over it as we go. Plus, it gets some of the new people that don't know what happened yesterday what happened. The first prank that happened was at the start of a new project. It was Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo. It started on April 1st, 2014. That year, I wasn't planning on doing much. I mean, I didn't really have a idea yet. I know one of the people I watched was doing a playthrough where he was pretending to be drunk. And he was playing a kid's game. So I gotta think, okay, so I don't want to do anything like that because, we don't want to promote that, especially if kids are going to be watching. But I want to do something funny. Well, I asked that lady to take over for the day on doing an episode. I did the footage like normal, and then audio guy was supposed to give her a full set of notes. What I mean by a full set, everything she needed to get through the game. Well, through the one episode. He didn't give her a full notepad. So he pranked me as well on that. So she was kind of half blind, mostly blind in the end. But she didn't manage to get through the episode very well. Now, I'm going to tell you right here, there's a few things I could have with pranks that when I do a prank for this channel on April Fools, it's never a bad prank. It's never a bad thing. They fall into one of three things: tech demo, improvement, or a game that I would never normally play on the channel. This technically falls into the third category, because that was that lady's first time doing something for the channel. Later on, she would do guesting such as some Nancy Drew games, and also at the object puzzle games that she's played, as well as being in the second ever Versus. If I remember, it's the second one, where she played with All You Guy and Me. So this was her being brought in as, it doesn't seem like a one-off, but it could have been a one-off if things didn't go well, but it did, so it goes on. That's why I said it's kind of a tech demo. We're trying out something new. Adding a second voice to the channel. Let's say I'm glad it worked. The second prank that we ever did, this one was something. I said my footage was terrible and messed up in Resident Evil 0, and he was going to try to recover it. It was actually messed up a little bit. Well, he sent me a game to play for 5 minutes and record and send it back to him, which is the one that was showing the video at the beginning. And then he took Star Fox and, warped it. This was to give me a little bit more time to fix the episode and re-record if need be, or if he could fix it and get it up himself. So this was kind of a delay tactic and working with software, trying to figure it out, and also work with some of its inner workings to get better at doing stuff. So this one's really more of a, what can we do, play around and see what we get out of the software and push it to its limits so we can learn new tricks. Like I said, that falls into improvement. That is the second category. So that one didn't seem like it had any use. But at the time, I believe it was Windows Movie Maker we were still using. I don't think we moved over to Atomi yet. So that one actually had a use that we learned a new trick. Or three. Which will be showing next year's prank. Where we started really playing with the sidebars and getting better. This is when we switch over to Atomi. This one had Tingle go a little nuts on the channel because we were playing Majora's Mask at the time. Perfect time to do something silly. So we let the bar gift lit, all of you guys' text was upside down. The end card was messed up. And we had Tinkle broke the thing. I mean, this was, again, playing with the channel, but learning with the software. This was an improvement over last year's thing. So it kind of, it was a two-step process. Harmless, but silly, but it still did the job of what it needed to do. The one after, make it indie. There was no way we were never gonna have this as an episode of anything, so we decided to play this game on the year after it was released. It was rather silly. It was one of those games you could easily platinum if you tried hard enough. I think you could actually get, well, I don't say platinum. I mean, platinum is if you get all the trophies on PlayStation, not just on Steam. But this also worked a little bit with the sound as we were revamping the sound a little bit. So that was a little bit of a test there. So I was allowed to blow out the mic. I was able to be quiet, all that. That's why it sounds a little weird. I was also making fun of myself, too. Because that's when the game jams were going on. And I believe that was after my first loss, too, still. In game jam, because the thing's not going right. So I was kind of making fun of myself in that, too. So that was a mix of category 2 and 3. The one after, though, was one of just pure fun. It was the Legend of Zelda randomizer. I made I forget how many maps, but each one had a Triforce I could easily find. And the last one was just all Triforce. You tell it was all messed up because it had the 9999 counter for rupees and all the hearts and equipment to really just, mess things up a little bit more. I mean, that's one of the things I didn't really think about doing on the channel to randomize because I did the main game, but then look what happened this year. I was kind of putting it out there, that I do know it exists and it could happen again. And there's the whole thing with Minecraft, which was an actual map that we actually made in advance, which really took some time editing. Which we would use again later on for, stuff. Maybe there'll be a project one day maybe I'll play Minecraft on the channel one day, maybe not, I don't know. It's one of those games I'm hesitant on playing because, well, let's say I'm not the greatest at it, and I prefer to do things relaxing, just doing random builds like the Triforce and whatever, and making things like automatic doors or something, not really actually playing the game to beat the Ender Dragon or anything, so I'm not as skilled as the ones on Hermitcraft, which we'll see another reference to that later. But yeah, this was my moment to actually use that and also mess around with the end card again and fool with things. I think it was the first year we had Vegas too, so that also was a little bit of time to learn using Vegas as well as in the end card. I think. Yeah. The next one is the only exception to the whole thing completely. I said my pranks usually fall into 3 categories. This is the only exception. Lost Dimension. Lost Dimension has an ending where you do get yourself a game over. There's no logistical purpose at all to do this. There's no reason you need to. There's no reason. It's no, you don't even need. It's not even a trophy. It's it's just one of those things that if you try hard, you could do. And April Fool's Day was the perfect day to show it off. So I had to do it on this day. And that's when I was also on a trip with Natalie at the time. So I was with her. So I was in my normal studio. So I couldn't do something really ornate or elaborate. So this just fit the bills and it was just hysterical to do. And knowing that this was going to happen it was just chef's kiss. It was just perfect right there. And being able to show it off was actually kind of funny. The year after, I am so sad this one got delayed. This one even had its own making of video, so you guys don't know I don't need to really go over this one. Yohane TV, which, watch the extras, because that was a day late, so I include the extra bits, just, really, kind of as an apology, kind of this is why it took so long. This one was elaborate. This one also featured new tech. I got an iPad, that I could actually record with. So that started the whole trend of me being able to play games on the iPad and whatever. So this was an upgrade year. This was adding new content, new features. Plus the fact that I knew I was going to get an item early made this prank perfect. It would also feature a lot of Love Live content and others, which does kind of, a little bit. I chose Johanna for this one because she's a bit of a gamer as well and and has a stream in the Love Live universe. So it'd be perfect for her because we'd sync real well with this. And plus, Bill and Ted's a fun movie, and I love doing a good Bill and Ted joke if I can get away with it. And this was just perfect for it. The whole Devil's Game with Bill and Ted, oh, that was great. And this is where Minecraft came in again. That end set, which I'm so upset I lost eventually. That Layers Assault, oh, that was amazing. Plus, that was kind of like the going away gift for Audio Guy because he was basically out of the channel and, well, doing his own thing at this time, doing his stuff on his own, which isn't online stuff. So I actually had to contact him and ask, do you want 2 lines in this because we're doing this as a, final thing? He goes, sure. So I got his lines for it, and then that was basically it. Because for those that don't know, Audio Guy used to be a part of the channel. He used to do the audio a little bit. He was going to go into learning something with music, but then he changed it up to teaching. So that's where he went from there. So that's about when he left the channel too, is when he gave up on music and went to teaching. He's doing fine. He's in New York with his girlfriend, doing just fine. I talked to him way back in January. He's doing good. But yeah, this was really just, that was fun. That was hysterical. And yes, the monolith was not planned. It was actually a glitch at the time that they knew about. So that was one of those, we kind of knew the joke. The one after, the golf club, that one was a good one. I just got Taskmaster. It was actually, I still watch it. The new season just came out, and I just saw the first episode. Oh, the way he's going is just funny already. This is kind of my homage to them. I don't think Alex Horn ever saw it, but I never shared it with him because I wasn't sure how he'd see American actually do that, even though he did host the American version, which didn't do so well. But hey, if he ever sees this and he loves it, great. If he hasn't got a joy out of it, great. If he'd want to redo this, then he has all permission. I'm not going to take any credit for it. It's one of those things where I needed something. I wanted to learn Vegas a little more, really work with it and play with it, especially the shaders and everything. So this was the chance to do that. So that's why there's a lot of hidden messages and everything and colors and doing all these weird effects. So I could learn actually how to do that. I did a whole thing on this one on the reveal of where all the pranks were. So I'm not going to go fully into it, but I went into it then. And that one was just great. Last year's prank, there's no video. No video, no prank, nope, nothing. You got nothing that year. I was in hiatus due to everything that happened, so I really couldn't work on a prank. I started one, but it's not done yet. Like to this day, I still have the bits and pieces from it. I could use it on a later year. I could use it some other time, but I didn't use it yet. So just note there was something planned that didn't come out, but it could have happened. Another reason why you're probably all here. This year's prank. What did I do this time, right? I know. We're at the meat and potatoes. So this will probably be the longest part. We'll go through it section by section. I want to start off with the first part, which is just having to wipe out a mega collection, play the end race part, just give it a loading. I do have a plan when this actually comes out, because I guess you know what the prank was, right? By now. Yeah, we were testing the settings for live streaming. Maybe I'll be on Twitch sometime by next year. So yeah, this was all set up for a later thing. This is set up on graphics. This is set up on setting up the visual. This is me setting up stream elements in the background. Like, this is testing for this thing. And this was its alpha test. So this was literally you guys getting the first look at everything I was doing, as well as a lot of the other people I asked about this. I'm probably not going to use Wipeout to do the intro like I did on this one, But I do have a plan where where I do have a little bit of a concept art, but it's just putting it together, and I'm no artist, okay? I'm not good at it. So that's why this one just went for a minute. It's probably gonna be one of the things that gets scrapped. That's why I just put like random messages at the top. But we'll continue on about a little bit more when we get in there. The second part, I don't have an intro video yet. I do also have a plan for that, but I haven't been able to work on it yet. Yeah, so I just went with the Stinger video. It's a very basic one where it's just a flag going across the screen, but it doesn't even look like a flag. But I want it to be like that because if you look at Gran Turismo 6 and how they do their pre-race intros, I want something like that, like the flag going over, showing the icon for a few, and then flying in. If you haven't noticed, go take you 45. The flags, it's race themed, though it won't always be right. But my content basically won't be. It'll be more variety. But the flags, the first one, the fact that LTech comes back as a joke again, which is part of the channel basically. If you've seen any of the pop-ups, it's that LTech screens are being used, and if you remember Idolmaster, LTech is the sponsor for that one. Like, and also as well as it's kind of the in-joke brand I have. Like, if you saw like Mythbusters, you'd have like Mythbusters brand item, or in a show you'd have X brand instead of an actual official one. It's basically my company, basically, in the Eleanor's 8567 universe. Is LTech is just a joke for that, for electronics. So if I ever have a blender and I show it up on screen, it's going to have LTech written on it, just as a joke. And it's a very generic name, just so you know. We don't want to get sued by anyone. It's not, So you're going to see their messages where the noise I actually recorded is what their screens go, as well as a later one, which they enjoy their blue tech technology, which is their the blue grid technology, which is their screen for the backing for it, just as a few pun jokes. And now we're on the chat screen. The chat screen is going to be one of the things I'm probably going to keep. There might be some tweaking, might not. I did kind of want the background hexagonal like that and red. Now for this, you notice the chat box, it does have not just Nancy Drew Sleuth 85, which is actually that lady's Twitch name. She had the okay, and I let her in. All her lines are those lines that she put down, by the way. But you'll notice that Lady Chloe VT doesn't have an underscore. Twitch names require an underscore, if I remember. You can't put a space in them. So there's already an account that can't exist. So that should have been your first flag that there's something wrong. Either I left out something, or I deliberately did to try to give you guys a hint that this is a fake. Yohane, notice her icon. It's Aqua's member Yoshiko. There's a joke again. She returns from Yohane TV. She returns a little bit. Like she's just it's an in-joke character popping back in basically at this point. And me giving Love Life fans a little bit of a nod and a joke. But you'll notice that Lady Chloe, which is the channel mascot, is talking. Now, you'll notice that under me it says Pilot 01. That's not just me saying that I'm the number one here. I mean, this is going to be a screen you're going to mostly see. But there's two other variants that I have yet to release yet that is not going to be me. It's actually going to be up to 3 if I can get everything to work right. So it won't. So if it's going to be on Twitch, it's not going to be just me doing one thing. I will tell you, one of them is going to be that lady. She has a green one set up with Pilot 02. So if she ever does anything on Twitch and wants to use my account, because we basically are a team at this point. I mean, we basically live in the same, She is basically the number 2 for the channel, and she, like I said, she's been a part since the first prank, so she's kind of like, up there. But number 3, I'm keeping secret for now. But I will say there's a very good hint in chat. I've already said it once. So for those of you who know, you guys already know who number 3 is, but don't say it. And yes, Demon Princess Akko is a reference to Akko Yurigata from Roselia from Bang Dream. And she gives Yohane a foil because they're both in the same realm of character. They're both Shuni characters. Like, they have that attitude of each other, you know, Fallen Angel and all that. So they're in that realm where they would just mesh well and be able to play off each other. Plus, she's useful for a few jokes in that one, because don't forget, Yohane TV, we had Bang Dream, so the chatters are completely fake. Except one. And by the way, that was the hardest part to set up. I had to go and find the Twitch badge, copy it for the mod sword and the broadcaster, and paste them on every single line with every single name. So yeah, I had to make that myself. The whole chat is one big image file, and it was just loaded with all the chat, and I just scrolled it through as we went, which also messed up and also almost caused some problems. In the 11th hour, I was sitting there while Tatiana was playing Silent Hill 1, fixing that because something went wrong. So I was doing double duty that day, all to get this out on time on April Fool's Day. So we get our second stinger, which is the blue grid technology, and then we're actually in the game screen. The game screen is what I'm probably going to keep. I did want to make it easy. And yes, I have my camera in the corner. The room is looking better than it did in that video. It wasn't actually recorded on the 31st. It was recorded a week before. And since then, I've done some more work in the room, scrubbing the walls and cleaning them. So they're looking better. Also, that is not the final placement it's going to be. It's going to be a little bit more to the left. I'm in my temp spot, which is near the bed right now. But I can't really put myself in that corner because at the moment, there's a dresser that has all the stuff that I need for the TV on it, as well as the game console. So that might move. I might have to flip everything. So that screen might get rearranged. This is what I basically want. I have the chat somewhere above me. The game screen either to my left or right, depending on which way I'm going to be facing when the final room design happens. Right now I'm looking left. I might have to switch it so I'm looking right. That's why right now when I'm looking in the camera, I'm looking at the screen because that's what it looked like when I was recording. If I had to flip the screen, flip my view, I'm going to flip the screen. So I'll be on the right, and the chat will be the news feed, and the game will be on the left. The game, I did use the SNES Mini. I did do what a lot of people do and put some custom games on it because, I'll be honest, I tried beating this on the Wii. I've been having trouble. I've been practicing it using the SNES Mini. I put a copy of the game on it, and I've been practicing on that. The official run, when I do the official run for Arrow 2, might be on the Wii. Unless I can't get it to run, which the Wii has been having a few problems recently, so I might not be able to, which if it is, I'm going to be upset because I got to get it fixed. Because there's a few games I can't get off that system. The systems are down. I can't get the games that are on there any other places for some of them. So yeah, that might need to be a fix. But there's also the news ticker. The news feed right now is just going through ads that I basically custom made. And a lot of these are actually actual things. But for now, what I have on it, let me see. I got the photo somewhere. I'm just getting that up real quick so I can go through them. And it's just one big photo. I have the basic news ticker to start off, which you know what it is. Just my logo and the news feed. I'm probably going to replace that one with the 10-year anniversary logo when it comes in. I'm get around time to making it. I did put the YouTube logo and the channel name, which is now showing the games I should be playing, but we're currently kind of rebuilding. I did put a notice on Don't Miss a Session, follow your local bird app, which Twitter, which I will be adding more later because you know how Twitter's going. We'll just say, replace the TW with SH. Twitter. Itter. Come on. Yeah, you know what I mean. Come on, you're old enough to know the joke. I'm not going to say it, but you know the joke. I mean, there might be kids watching, so if they don't, then. That's if you're under 13, don't go saying what I just said to your parents. If you're over 13, then you know that what's going on with Twitter right now. So I might replace it with other things, and I'll replace that screen later on. We had the race screens brought to you by LTech, providing exciting info since DuckTales Remastered. DuckTales Remastered is the first time I used the screens, which I made, custom made, to show graphics, everything. So that's kind of like, another joke for them, but it's also, the race screens being like the race info boxes, they're, sponsoring the boxes. Again, in joke. Everybody laughs, hopefully. Metroid and Digicard Prism Vikings are now available on itch.io/L13567. They have been for years. I'm still working on, thinking on redoing them. I got stuff to do with that. So don't think they're dead. And the last one is again a reference to the fact that New Genesis, we have the fan alliances, which you can join if you want. I'm on ship 4. That lady is on ship 2. She's partially redesigned at the moment on ship 2, which she has her new look. Slowly being worked on. I still gotta work a lot on it. But yeah, the chat is just one huge reference party. If it's not a reference to Bang Dream or the game going on, or the reference to the first, which kind of, it's one way of bringing the chat along with it. Like Chloe mentions that the eShop is dead basically, so there's some news in there. Yohani's mentioning the PS4, which is the Love Live PS4 version. Akko mentions that Bang Dream's on Switch and PC, so that's And then Yohani brings up, how could I forget, mentioning Yohani TV. I mean, really watch the chat during this too, because there's a lot of good ones in there. I mean, there's a good amount brought up that's actually a reference or whatever, because even bring up that the fact that the Slayer class is coming to PSO2 soon, which actually is going to be 2 days from now for the weapons start appearing. So yeah. And yeah, Chloe complains that she can't beat Arrow 1 because Arrow 1 is actually hard. I will admit it is difficult. When I was a kid, that game caused me so much stress. Ugh. And yes, these just the boxes from another game you might know well, especially if you played it and tried to go with very stealthily through it. So yeah, like I said, it's references and fun just all throughout the chat, throughout the whole thing. I might slow down the news ticker, I don't know, but I do have it set up, so when I do start, I don't know if I'm going to do this yet, because a lot of people don't like being announced. But I just want to put like a simple little pop-up screen that moves in, like follower get or new follower or hide new follower or whatever, but do not say the name. And I'll admit, I'm the same way. I don't want to be announced when I follow someone in chat. I don't want my name to pop up because I know it starts. It's a fucking curse. My last name has to be the name of that company. And yes, I do hate it. You want me to stop showing up? That's one way to quickly do it. That's one way to quickly do that. Please do not do that. It's like having a kid with the first name Nick and going Nickelodeon all the time. They're going to fucking hate your guts. All right? Are we good on that? Do we understand? Are we... Crystal? Good. Oh, speaking of that, I do make references to Australian gladiators. And it was even mentioned for Chloe that I mentioned that too. It was a little bit of fun there. So that's the whole thing with that. The session complete, the post-race interview, it's going to be, like I said, same thing as the start. I might flip them, I might not. And I might leave the next race and date, or I'll put something at the bottom. I don't know yet. But I just don't want to leave it blank, because I hate just blank space. I just want something there, so your eyes scroll to it. It's like, I want it to look bland in most places. There can be some blend like the corners or whatever, but having like a big gap of space that's empty just ugh. But the last part of it, the last part of this thing, this is a credit roll. It lasts 0.5 minutes. I don't know how many people you know the joke, but you'd have to look at the pilot for Australian Gladiators. Phantom Gladiator has it up on his channel, or her channel, or their channel. I don't know. Phantom Gladiator, I don't know much about it than they had the whole set for Gladiators, the Australian version, even the demo, well, the pilot. At the end of the pilot, their credit sequence is this is a slow moving credit roll. It lasts for 1 minute. Thus finishing the joke here. And with that, that ends this episode and this recap. And also going over the breaks of the last few years and seeing why I did what I did and where I did. What's going to happen next year? Don't know. But I hope you have fun. I'll see you on the next one. See you then.